Hi everyone. Uh, I'm filming from my desk, so you may see the tapestry is back there. It's been taped up because I need to buy some nails and I need to get a hammer. I have a hammer, but I need to get some nails and find a way to nail this down. I've taped it because I had these little stickers, adhesives that kept the tapestry on the wall, but it would always fall off. So I just taped it like a quick DIY way of attaching a tapestry to a wall. But I need to get some nails soon, and I need some help, because so it can be in the middle, right? So forgive me. I usually like filming back there because I have it's a nice background. But anyway, forgive me for the setting, and if it looks very unprofessional, I'm sorry. Um, and today I want to talk about remote work and how I realized that I was watching the video that I filmed yesterday, and I filmed this video off the cuff. I didn't have a script, and most of my videos are pretty much off the cuff. But in this video, I will talk more about my job and remote work and elucidate on what remote work really is like. And I realized that in the video that I made yesterday, I sounded very ungrateful and conceited, and I have to say that I'm very grateful for my position. I'm very grateful for the work that I do. It's good work, and I'm very grateful for what I do. But this video may help people that have been thinking about potentially working remote, and hopefully through this video you'll be able to assess if this kind of environment is an environment that you would thrive in. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of working remote, and then after that I'm going to talk about Elon Musk's comments on remote work being morally wrong. I'm going to address that in my thoughts and my opinion of his comments, and what I think about everything that's been said about remote work. And so I've got some notes, and I'm going to start by giving you a very brief overview of what I do. So I basically work for an organization that is a subcontractor for the city, and we're more focused on workforce development initiatives. So usually cities across America, whenever they want to implement a program into their county or their city or their town, they don't manage the program themselves. They hire a subcontractor so that the subcontractor can be the project manager of that program. And so the city will come up with, let's say, a program related to helping underserved communities, okay? They'll put out a proposal for that. And many different organizations around the area will write a grant stating why they should be the project managers of those programs. And my organization is focused on the workforce development initiatives. So we work with a lot of reentry individuals, individuals that were incarcerated in the past. We work with people with disabilities. We work with the Black community, the Hispanic community, immigrant workers, single mothers, dislocated workers, which means workers that have been laid off. We also work with, who else do we work with? Any kind of low income individuals, we work with them. We work with youth. juveniles that have been incarcerated. We work with them as well. And we help them reintegrate back into the workforce by providing apprenticeships. So it's kind of like Homeboys, if you've ever heard of Homeboys. It's a wonderful organization if you haven't heard of Homeboy. Homeboy Industries is an organization, and I met Greg Boyle. He's an amazing guy. It's an organization that was founded by Greg Boyle, and the organization is focused on helping individuals who were incarcerated reintegrate back into society. Homeboys provides tattoo removal, counseling for the incarcerated individuals or formerly incarcerated individuals, financial assistance, workforce development assistance, training, mentorship. They provide all of these services for incarcerated individuals, and they're really focused on the incarcerated community, the people that have been formerly incarcerated, and they're doing a lot of great work in that, and it's shown that helping incarcerated individuals prevents recidivism, right? And so it's good work, and my organization basically does that, but with more population, serving more people from the population, like people with disabilities and single mothers, and not just people that were in jail in the past. And so that's a brief overview of what I do. I write grants. I'm in the research and development department, and my department is one of the very few departments that you can work from home and you can do it remote. And so the other people, since it's more boots on the ground kind of work, they work in person. But anyway, here are the pros and cons of working remote. The pros, I'm going to start with the pros. So there's a lot of cost savings: food, clothing, commuting. Commuting is a big one for me. Food, you have your own kitchen, you have your own fridge, and so you save on food, right? You save on the cost of food, because if you're working in an office, you may sometimes forget to pack lunch, or you may not cook, and so you may buy takeout from a nearby restaurant, right? Clothing, you don't always have to, in a white collar environment, you have to dress professionally. That's just the truth. You can't go in there with jeans and ripped jeans or, tennis shoes. You have to dress the part, and you don't have to do that if you work remote. And commuting, that's a really big one, especially if you live in a big city like I do. You save a lot of money on gas with the commuting part, and you save a lot of time. Another pro is that there is less micromanaging, and this depends on the company that you're working for, because I have heard stories. I met a girl once, and she was telling me that she was working remote, but her boss forced all the employees to always be on Zoom while they were working on their tasks. They always had to be on Zoom, and if they wanted to go to the bathroom, they had to unmute the video and ask the boss if they can go to the bathroom, which is, I don't know if that's ethical. She thankfully left that place, and but for the most part, it's less micromanaging. But just know that there are some crazy supervisors out there that might force you to be on Zoom or to be online, and there's kind of a big brother situation going on there, so be aware of that. There is increased flexibility. The work-life balance, that's another pro. It depends. and I'll talk more about it when I'm talking about the cons. No coworker drama. And for all my white collars there who have worked in offices, you know that it's a vicious environment, right? And it's tough. It's really survival of the fittest. And so you avoid that drama, which is nice. Now I'm going to talk about the cons. And so I should say that some of these pros might be cons for somebody, and some of these cons might be pros for someone. And what may be a con for me may not be a con for you, right? So take it as you will. One of the cons is isolation and little to no social life. You're always indoors for 8 hours, and there is little to no interaction. Yes, I have virtual calls and I have virtual meetings, but it can be very isolating. And if you are the kind of person that needs a lot of interaction and more extroverted, this is not the job for you. If you're like me, more of an ambivert, you can work on your own and it's more independent, this is great. Or if you're really introverted and you like to not talk to anybody at all, then this is the position for you. But just know that there's little to no interaction going on. Self-discipline can be a very big thing because you're in your own space, so it can be harder to motivate yourself. And that's why you have to create a schedule. Overworking. So I talked about the work-life balance, but a lot of people, including myself, we overwork because I clock out at 5 o'clock. I stop getting paid at 5 o'clock. But sometimes you have so much work and you've got so many deadlines back to back that, and you're in your house, right? You're in your place, that you may continue working till 11 p.m., and there are times where you're constantly online for hours on end, 12 hours sometimes, when there's like back-to-back deadlines or there's just a lot of work, and you can fall into overextending yourself and working. Also, I should say that if you're the kind of person that can't be seated for long periods of time, this is not the position for you because you're seated and in front of a computer for many hours on end. And so that can be a con for some people. And with that, I'm going to say it's a very sedentary job. So you're not exercising too much. You're not moving around too much. And most white-collar jobs are pretty sedentary. But this one is to a higher degree when you work remote because you really are in a position where you're always seated or you don't really have to move around that much. What else? Home distractions. If you have kids, if you have a dog, you're more susceptible to those distractions and it may be harder for you to concentrate, right? It may be harder for you to get promoted because your management doesn't know you in person. This might depend, I should say. Because you're not having any in-person interactions, it may be harder for you to make a case for yourself and for you to be known in the organization. This next one can be a pro and it can be a con. It's a lot of independent work. And this can be a pro for a lot of people. It's a pro for me, but it's also sometimes a con. Because if you have any questions, if you've got work that you don't understand, it's really hard to get a hold of someone quickly to fix the problem. Because sometimes my other coworkers are in meetings or they can't help me out right now. And so I just have to fend for myself. And sometimes I have to figure it out myself. And so if you thrive in environments that have to do with a lot of teamwork, remote work is probably not the job for you, because you're doing a lot of independent work, and in the beginning, I love independent work, and I do better in working independently. But sometimes with things that you don't understand, if you have any questions, especially if you're new to a position, it may be very hard to get the hang of it because you're working from home and you're isolated. So those are the pros and cons that I could come up with right now. And overall, I love it. I love my job. I love the organization. I love what it stands for. I don't want to sound like somebody that's in a cult, those people that are loyalists to their job or to their company. But I really do see that it's doing good work. And of course, the position that I work for, I can't see the fruit of our labor because we're working from home and we're doing things behind closed doors. But I do know that the people that are working in person are doing the boots on the ground. They're really helping these individuals reintegrate back into society, and I'm really happy to be a part of that, right? Because you may say, okay, well, you don't do as much because you work from home and you're not working in person. But really, if somebody doesn't write the grants, if somebody doesn't write a proposal to get those programs, nobody would be managing. There would be no possibility to manage these programs. So everybody in the organization is contributing to helping our community thrive, especially those that are underserved. Okay, so now I'm going to comment on Elon Musk and his comments on remote work being morally wrong. What I'm going to say to Elon Musk is, I'm going to quote Biden during his first debate when he was debating Trump last year, and he said, "Trump, you've got the morals of an alley cat." And that is what I am going to say to Elon Musk. Elon Musk, don't talk about morals, because you've got the morals of an alley cat, okay? Claiming you founded Tesla, is that moral? All of the workers' rights violations that you're known for, is that moral? And if you really care about the people that are working in person, why don't you advocate for the field workers that are working outdoors in the scorching sun while their supervisors are in their AC headquarters, while these people are mostly undocumented immigrants, are working? Some of them are citizens and residents, but they're working for very low wages in very precarious conditions. Why don't you advocate for them? What about the people that work outdoors in the scorching sun and the people that work indoors in the AC, like blue collars versus white collars? Are the white collars more privileged? Not necessarily. It's just a different environment, okay? And so you've got the morals of an alley cat, and please do not talk about morals when you can't, because of your past actions, you can't really make a case for yourself. And I'm sure Elon Musk, and I'm sure you're not going to watch this video, but I guess I'm talking to myself, and if I was having a conversation with Elon Musk, I'd be like, okay, Elon Musk, what about the clean air, right? A lot less people are commuting, and during COVID, a lot less people commuted to their jobs, and because of that, there is cleaner air, right? What about the cost savings for you? Like the building space and the utility bills. Did you like the cost savings? That you didn't have to pay much in utility bills and you didn't really have to pay for building space? And for somebody to say remote work is morally wrong, for someone that barely works at one site and works remote, now you work for the government, and I'm sure you're working remote for your Tesla company as well. So you can't really talk about remote work being morally wrong when you work remote yourself, dude. For most of your initiative, for most of your companies like SpaceX and Tesla, and now the government, Doge, right? So yeah, don't talk about morals, dude. So anyway, I'm getting off my soapbox now, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it made more sense. I hope you were able to understand what it's like to work remote and what that implicates. And I hope you have a great day. And yeah, peace and love. Bye.